Heyo, it's GrandGoten, and now it's finally time for the game that won the Twitter poll, and thank you all for voting, it really means a lot to me. I do actually have some small nostalgia with this game. I do remember playing it and loving each of the small games within, 3 games in 1, how could you go wrong with that? It's an absolute steal! Ah, nostalgia. What a fickle bitch. Now, Die Hard Trilogy. We see the first 3 movies of the franchise with vastly different playstyles between the games. Let's start with, obviously, the Die Hard 1. Oh god, I didn't realize they spoke whilst changing games. Oh god, no. Oh god. Die Hard 1. It's a fun action movie, adapting the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Fort, following John McClane stopping Hans Gruber and his heavily armed team from stealing money from the safe in Nakatomi Plaza. There's a lot more to it than that, but do you really want me to give you the cookie cutter YouTube film reviewer explanation? Go watch the movie. Good. I do say though, they adapt the book's basic structure well, from what I can tell. A few things changed around, names and such, just to make it one hell of a good time. Now in Die Hard Trilogy, what do you gotta do? Well, travel through each floor of Nakatomi Plaza as Tank McClane, taking out terrorists and saving hostages. The game is set up like a third-person shooter, thinking your Tomb Raiders or Duke Nukem Land of the Babes type ordeal. Actually getting to mention Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. Wow. So you travel through each stage, killing a set number of terrorists with a small variety of weapons that can be found on the respective floor, saving hostages in the meantime, and then once all the kills have been racked up and all the hostages are saved, a bomb appears, and you've got a set time to find it, and then travel with it in the elevator to complete the level. There's some sound internal logic going on there. Oh shit, a bomb! I saved the day. John gets access to his pistol as the standard weapon, with a few different machine guns, a shotgun, a few grenades, just to help taking down those dastardly dudes, and also some hostages accidentally. Whoops, whoopsie daisies. The additional weapons sound useful, like they should, but you run out of bullets super quickly, and you end up with just a pistol that can do the job well regardless. Grenades do serve a purpose. You're able to clear a group of enemies out that come close to you, so it puts them above any of the other weapons, but maybe on like the same level as the pistol. I don't know. Someone do a tier list out there for Die Hard 1's weapons? Now, that Tank McClane I mentioned before, yes, very clever of me, definitely not on the nose. Pat on the back. John controls exactly as you'd expect from a PS1 third-person shooter. He lives and breathes tank controls, and it's such a joy. No, it's a pain. There's a lot of small hallways in later levels and pillars and other obstacles that are supposed to be used to kind of blindside enemies or like gain advantage, but it just makes it more of a pain to traverse through. At least John auto-aims when he is just dead center on the target, and God forbid a hostage gets in the way, because then he just accidentally targets them. And the remorseless killing machine here, all he can say for himself is just, oops! And sometimes when playing, the levels will just grind to a halt, and no terrorist appears, no hostage appears, it's like it just forgot to spawn in. And you just spend time wandering around, waiting for one or the other to suddenly appear, and the level's like, oh, wait, yes, you have to continue. Oh, my bad, I forgot about that. Like, it felt super fun initially, but after that small bit of nostalgia just went away, and the rush for some weirdly speedy encounters just stopped happening. Everything became super boring and tedious to go through. And I don't even want to fight Hans, honestly. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to fight Hans. I remember liking this one a lot more as a kid. Probably my favorite one, but things have changed now. But now, it's time to try harder with Die Harder. That was terrible. So, we got Die Hard 2, Die Harder, perfect title, adapted from the 1987 book, 58 Minutes, by Walter Wages, or Waggers, Wages. I'm just seeing a pattern of adaptation here. Following John McClane, stopping terrorists, and saving his wife at the Washington Dulles International Airport, and it's pretty cool. First film's better though. How could I describe Die Harder in the Die Hard trilogy? Do you like Time Crisis? Do you like House of the Dead? If you answered yes, you've got some excellent taste, first off. Now imagine that, but super slow. It's your standard light gun game, but everything is really slow and very uninteresting. Maybe it'd improve if I got myself a CRT and one of the light guns. Doesn't work with the Namco light guns, but it'd be a way to experience it truthfully. Probably not. Also, slight tidbit on my own sub. I did not realize the game had actually started when booting it up properly, and I accidentally shot a civilian or a cop. Oops. Or as John says, anytime you accidentally kill someone, it's just a whoops. Like, murder was just this simple mistake. Like, accidentally eating someone's food because the post-it note fell off it. Like, oh no, sorry about that. That was a big mistake. I just killed a man. So you gotta slip through the airport, going around shooting those terrible terrorists, collecting power-ups for different guns, or dual-wielding guns, or rocket launchers, or grenades, just finding faster ways to gun them down, and also fusing with tables. I'm using an emulator for footage, since Sony popped that lovely HDCP on the PS3, so there's no way of turning it off on that, so I can't record footage unless I get that little peripheral to help myself get through it. And it's on its way, I swear. I really want to record Hajime no Ippo at some point, so that needs to be sorted. The issue with speed itself is just prominent through it. I played it on the PS3 first before collecting any footage, and I just couldn't even be bothered finishing the actual second level. For a light gun game, it pales in comparison to its cohorts. House of the Dead, Time Crisis is how they build that speed and action that makes you want to keep going. Ah well, maybe, just maybe, the third movie can salvage something for me. And the thing is, I did not like the third movie's game when I was younger. Barely touched it. But it's back with a vengeance, so I've got 2 die-hard puns out of 2 of the movie's titles. Ooh, I didn't even have to try hard. Boom. Terrible 3 jokes with each title. Yes. Now, Die Hard 3, interesting at least, is not based on any book, it's just a script thrown around because nobody wanted it. A film called Simon Says, which was bought by Warner Brothers to turn into a Lethal Weapon movie, then got put into Turnaround to be bought by Fox, rewritten into Die Hard 3. Bada bing, bada boom. It's got Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson traveling around New York City stopping bombs carried out by Jeremy Irons, which, regardless of the quality of the movie itself, is just a beautiful sentence to be able to say. It's a shame the movie's just okay. Now, starting up the game again, I still felt that feeling I did back when I was younger. I didn't like this. But then I spent more time with the controls and its gameplay loop. And it's probably the best part of the entire trilogy now. It's just, hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi. Yeah. So we're just racing against time to try and disarm bombs that Jeremy Irons is hidden around, and well, the game says disarm, but actually what you're doing is just ramming the shit out of everything and taking out some civilians in the process. Ah, well, whoops, John, whoops. So you go from ramming stationary bombs, ramming bomb cars off the road, to racing a massive-ass truck in a tunnel to reach an explosive. It's quick, snappy gameplay loop that keeps you on your toes, never letting up. Unlike the other 2 games where pacing was just, I'm just gonna go sit in the back, says pacing. That's all it did. Using sharp corner turns, listening to Zeus's instructions, Samuel Jackson's character, to try and get the bombs in time, even though he normally leads me into a lot of civilians, the sick bastard. I just found myself playing this one the most. It's just the most fun all the way through. I didn't beat it, but its arcadey nature keeps it from being a major downer for me, that I felt that I did get a game over, because I just felt like, no, it's fine, because if I did come back to it, it'd be fine. I'd just be having fun playing it again. But do I see myself ever actually coming back to the Die Hard trilogy? Probably not. My nostalgia has twisted this in a way that I cannot see myself going back, unless I get that weirdly specific itch to play with a vengeance. Nostalgia betrayed me 3 times over, but at least it can't betray me for other PS1 classics like Spider-Man. That's still good, right? Right? Thank you again, all who voted on the Twitter poll. I didn't really expect Ippo or 7 Deadly Sins to win, not at all. But thank you for the votes regardless. Now, if anyone could click that fancy old subscribe button, maybe a like as well, be tasty that. And also, which Die Hard movie do you like the most? It's definitely the first one for me. And thank you for watching.